$20.40. 524 trifecta, $25.50. 10 cents super 5243, $20.25. Third race will start our Tuesday pick six. We lose a couple of horses in the third. Unfortunately, the 1 Jitter Juice and the 3 Dr. Blarney. 1 and 3 both scratch. No show, no trifecta, no superfecta wagering. Luis Perez now shifting to the 4 Civil Service. Wave the 7-pound bug. Make the weight 121 pounds. A nice one-day pick six carryover. A little shy of $8,000. Dollar minimum wager. Old school style pick six. Some other changes in this sequence. Fourth race, scratches 2 and 6, Feisty Marie and Baby Dreams. The 1A Happy Time races with blinkers on this afternoon. Fifth race, 4 Betty Rubble, make the jockey Stephen Fret. Race 6, scratch the 2 Stone Power. Emmanuel Di Diego, new jockey 6, Red Wine and Whiskey. Seventh race, scratch 1A, Tis Lucky. And we go to the nightcap and scratch 8, Gambling Man. A nice one-day pick six carryover, $7,943. Our pick six, and a little more than 18 minutes at 2:14.
And we're getting ready for race number 3. Looks to be Kevin Navarro was involved in that spill. He is okay. He will be riding the rest of his mounts. Good sign that no big mishap in that one. But as far as the winner, Pretty Miss Penny was much the best. Emmanuel Di Diego gets a victory for Jimmy Wright. Went up to 8-5. Now we're down to 4 betting interests here for the third. It starts the $1 pick 6. We scratch the 1, 3, and we're left with the 2, 4, 5, and 6. So right now, money pretty spread out. The only one that's not under 2-1 is the 2 American Justice. Let's start off with Civil Service, stretching out to a route after running primarily in sprints his whole career. But this one did show some talent last year in those sprint races, running second to horses like Zircon, winning a couple in a row. And this year even ran into Tralad and Victorious Wave, a couple real good ones, and not really getting a great pace scenario in either one of those races. Well, going long should work out better for him. He should be out there with America's Justice. Looks like one of the major players here. He's right now at odds of 9-5. Well, they're going on the track for the third. Again, no show, no try, no super. So might try the $1 pick 6. Scratch the 1 and 3.
On the track for the third race, a nice allowance event with an optional claiming tag of $20,000, 1 mile and 70 yards. 1 and 3, both scratch. Luis Perez on the 4, Civil Service. Here they are, number 2, America's Justice, Joel Cruz. 4 is Civil Service. Luis Perez picks up the mount, wave the 7-pound bug. The weight's 121. 5 is Bar 14, Omar Hernandez Moreno. And 6, Brother Jeremiah with Kevin Navarro. 3-year-olds and up, allowance conditions, optional claiming tag of $20,000. 1 mile and 70 yards, no show, no trifecta, no superfecta wagering with the 2 defections. First leg of our pick 6, our Tuesday pick 6 with a 1-day carryover, a little shy of $8,000. Post time in a little more than 4 minutes. Looked like it was going to be a pretty cool race on paper, with Jitter Juice, an up-and-comer, the grizzled, salty veteran, Dr. Blarney. Then you add in the players that remain in this field. Race 3 was going to be a good field of 6, but we lose the 1 and the 3. Still, we have a nice little quartet assembled to start our pick 6. Civil Service, Brother Jeremiah, America's Justice, and Bar 14. Going to lean with a slight endorsement for the 4, Civil Service. There are some question marks surrounding the added real estate. The Tomlinson's good enough. Looked up FedBiz. I thought FedBiz towards the tail of his career was more effective in one-turn races, but he started out as a 2-turn horse. His second career start resulted in a maiden special weight victory as a 2-year-old at Santa Anita on the dirt in a 1-mile affair. He won his next race as a 3-year-old in another 1-mile affair. That was a nice allowance race, had him going in the right direction as a 3-year-old. Unfortunately, he did not appear back to the races until later that summer. And off the lengthy layoff, he won the El Cajon at Del Mar, which was at the time an all-weather track, but still it was around 2 turns. He parlayed that into a good 3rd-place finish in the Indiana Derby. Talking about FedBiz, the sire of Civil Service. You have Candy Ride Blood on the bottom, and if you really dive into the lineage, you get even more route blood with Sultry Song on the bottom end. The 3rd dam was very productive, made a ton of money So it adds up that Civil Service can get the extra real estate. He's a horse with a lot of ability. Those 3 races last year in September, October, and early November were all powerful races, especially that defeat to Zircon when he earned that lofty 86 Beyer. He's run into a couple of buzzsaws so far this season. Victorious Wave out of that 27th of June race ventured to Saratoga and was put in a nice claiming race, and he won pretty easily, and he was a big time shake that day. There were like 19 or so horses and 19 or so trainers in for Victorious Wave when he won at Saratoga. Trelad, who was in that gutty fight with Victorious Wave, came back and defeated Civil Service a month later. Now we get him stretching out. Senior does great with his sprinter out stretch outs, 40%. There's blood top and bottom. The horse likes an off track. He makes a lot of sense. He's our favorite at 7-5. 6 brother Jeremiah definitely relishes the added real estate. Boy, he had a great 2022 campaign. 9 out of 10 of his races last year resulted in top 3 finishes, 4 wins, a runner-up, and 4 third-place finishes. He ran into Riders Regret on the 20th of June. Riders Regret got good again. He ran a pretty good race in the George Barker and parlayed that into that second state bred victory. That was a sprint for brother Jeremiah. He's every bit of a 2-turn horse. Last time out when going to 2 turns, he was part of the favored entry, and he ran somewhat of a disappointing effort, but maybe he's still coming into himself this season, and now this is his 3rd start off the layoff, and he has every right to revert back to the form that made him powerful last year. I give him a big look. They're betting the 5, Bar 14. I don't have him in my top 2, obviously. You could only pick a couple of horses. There's no show, trifecta, and superfecta wagering. Bar 14 has tried the distance on a couple of occasions. He has not been able to hit the board. He did earn a 72 Beyer. That was back on the 28th of December at Penn National when he set the pace and got a little tired. That's obviously a salty group. That's an optional 25 with a 2nd allowance condition. He runs a pretty good race at Charlestown in early March. We'll see how he does here at Finger Lakes. He's 2-1. And then you get America's Justice. What do you do with him? He's a horse who's had some good success. 5 for 17 in his career. The blinkers are off this afternoon. He hasn't been performing too good of late on wet racetracks, but if you really look at it, his best race on those wet racetracks was over a good racetrack back in July that was not sealed, and that's what he's going to get here again this afternoon. I know his best races make him somewhat of a contender. He should be forwardly positioned along the inside. He's currently the longest price on the board. Even though it's just 4, it's a pretty good group to start our Tuesday pick 6. And we've got a ton of new money already in this pool. Look at this one developing very nicely. A little shy of $8,000 carryover, a little shy of $14,000 new money in the Tuesday pick 6. Still time to get those last minute tickets in. The horses are approaching the starting gate. It's post time for the third race. A nice Tuesday pick six developing here at Finger Lakes Gaming and Racetrack. Nearly $15,000 new money, just shy of that $8,000 carryover. So this is a big pool for the Tuesday card. Civil Service is the favorite, just a quartet to commence our Tuesday pick six. America's Justice is in, joined by the current favorite. Here comes a bar 14, and Brother Jeremiah will be the last of four. Brother Jeremiah and Kevin Navarro to the outside, ready for the Tuesday pick six. And there they go. Civil Service is out for the lead. Bar 14 wants to show pace. Here's America's Justice, forwardly positioned along the inside. He's going to pick it up from Civil Service. And Kevin Navarro opts for an inside path heading into the first turn as Brother Jeremiah is the last of the quartet. And America's Justice and Joel Cruz speed away, open up better than two to Civil Service. Bar 14 pressing the action from the outside, and Brother Jeremiah's riding the rail, and he's only 3 lengths from the front. 24 1/5 for America's Justice. He makes the pace to the 5/8, about a length and a half to Civil Service. Bar 14 gets the worst of it. He's 3 wide up the backstretch with the widest position. Brother Jeremiah gets to save all the ground. A nice cozy from off the pace trip for him. Little less than 3 lengths from America's Justice. 47 4/5. America's Justice sped it up just a little bit as they head into the far turn. Here comes Civil Service, and he's going to really rev up the pressure. Bar 14 with the 3 wide trip, and Brother Jeremiah still at the back. America's Justice confronted by Civil Service at the quarter pole. America's Justice with a narrow lead. Civil Service has a 1/4 mile to go by. And here comes Brother Jeremiah trying to begin his bid up the inside. And Bar 14's at the back. Civil Service can't put away America's Justice, who's got fight from the inside. Civil Service and America's Justice. Bar 14 is third. Not today for Brother Jeremiah. Civil Service, America's Justice. Civil Service, America's Justice. America's Justice reclaims the top spot right on the line. Civil Service was second, then Bar 14 and Brother Jeremiah. Very good horse race in the third, just a quartet, but America's Justice and Civil Service put on a nice show to start our Tuesday pick six. 143 and 71/100ths the final time. Photo will determine the winner. To America's Justice, longest shot on the board is the unofficial winner. Second place 4, Civil Service. Third place 5, Bar 14. Fourth place 6, Brother Jeremiah. America's Justice, 6 for 18 in his career, 5 for 13 here at Finger Lakes. He's a 5-year-old chestnut horse by American Pharaoh out of the dam Undercover Justice, owned by Beth Miller-Zull and Mark Bartholomew. Beth is the winning trainer. The winning jockey is Joel Cruz. A Kentucky bred by Bill Justice. The lone Kentucky bred, the biggest price on the board. The double, it's official, race 3, officially 2456. The double 5-2, $36.20. A 2-4 exacta, $17.20. Pick 5 starts in the 4th. Scratches 2 and 6. Feisty Marie and Baby Dreams. 1A Happy Time, 1 pound over. Blinkers on this afternoon, 1A Happy Time. For Ruby's Mission, also carrying 1 pound over. Our 4th race starting the pick 5 in 21 minutes at 2:43. And look at that big pick 6, fans. One of the biggest pools, I think, this season, if not the biggest. $24,630 of new money into that pick 6 for the Tuesday card.
Well, at least had a good finish to that four-horse field as America's Justice by American Pharaoh took the blinkers off and may have made the difference as he was able to come back on and catch Civil Service, who looked like he was going right on by Joel Cruz for trainer. Beth Miller-Saul will start off the $1 pick six. A little value out of that four-horse field, going off at odds of 4-1. Fourth race, a maiden race for fillies and mares, going 6 furlongs. Scratch the 2, Feisty Marie, and scratch the 6, Baby Dreams. Well, a couple horses getting some play. Obviously, Ruby's Mission, the morning line favorite, is going to get some action. He's at 3-2. The one entry going to get some play, 2 for the price of 1, and both of them have a shot in here. Our First Lady, the one horse that comes off a third place finish to a runaway winner in Maddie's Surprise, and it wasn't like the horse had a great trip either. They went slow up front in 47 and change, but at least it was an improved effort from the previous start where Bustin' Roxy got loose. So she got closer that last time when adding Lasix. Did show some improvement. She's coupled with Happy Time, who will put the blinkers back on and will go second time Lasix. So this will be the first time with Lasix and blinkers at the same time in a sprint against the maiden special weights here at Finger Lakes. So that can make all the difference for Happy Time, a horse by Run Happy, a Kentucky bred that certainly is worth playing here, but right now at odds of 6-5, as you do have 2 for the price of 1, and they are getting some action. Ruby's Mission, a very logical horse in here, comes off 2 straight in the money, finishes to start off 2023. He's been lightly raced here as a 3-year-old, and hasn't run a bad race. She actually broke poorly in a sense last time. Wasn't going to beat the winner anyway, but it was a decent effort, and she'll go second time Lasix as well, running again against the maiden special weights. Other than that one, not much else to beat in here. You got to figure Lasting Speed is going to be the one that they're going to have to catch. You do have a first-time starter in the 5, Who Asked You. Not the strongest of Wilgear Road was a horse that ran here. This one's starting off her career as a 4-year-old. The only half that's raced is Mercedes Joe, a horse that ran here. Took 21 starts, has still never broken its maiden, but does have pretty good connections with Michael Esferraro and Louis Perez. This is actually taking some money as well at odds of 4-1, which is a positive sign if you don't like the horses that have run. Exacta Tri Super Daily Double, and the pick 5 starts in race number 4. Again, we scratched the 2, Feisty Marie, and the 6, Baby Dreams.
Fillies and Mares, race 4, a 6-furlong affair. 3-year-olds and up, maiden special weights. 2 and 6, both scratch. 2 and 6 out of this upcoming 4th. Let's meet the field. Well, not quite yet. We got a little bit more time. 1A Happy Time gets blinkers on and will carry 1 pound over the weight. 4 Ruby's Mission also carrying 1 pound over. Now we can meet the field. The one is Our First Lady, Christian Navarro. Part of the Eva Money Jim Aquilano duo. Stablemate 1A Happy Time, Giovanni Paredes. Once again, the blinkers are on this afternoon. Scratch the 2 Feisty Marie. 3 with Lasting Speed, Rafael Rojina Jr. 4 is Ruby's Mission, Emmanuel Di Diego, 1 pound over. Di Diego looking for a riding double. 5, Who Asked You, the lone debutante, Luis Perez. Scratch the 6, Baby Dreams, and 7 is Tintagel with Stephen Fred. A field of 6, 5 wagering interests. With Lasting Speed, the lone mare. This is the first leg of our Tuesday Pick 5. Post time in a little more than 4 minutes. Racetrack remains good. A little bit more rain seems to be coming down. Our racetrack remains opened up. 4th race, obviously the horses that are getting all the support on the board make a lot of sense. The entry for Jim Aquilano and Ruby's Mission for Ricky Schaefer. What about the newcomer, the 5, Who Asked You? Interesting, according to the Daily Racing Form, Michael S. Ferraro is 0 for 8 with first-time starters. I know that's over like a 18-month span or a 24-month span. It just seems a little bit unrealistic. The senior has a lot of horses that run here, and they run well in their debuts, but perhaps the last couple of years or the last couple of 18 months, I don't know what the criteria for the amount of time is with that statistic, but 0 for 8 seems a little misleading. When I was handicapping this race this morning, I was looking at Who Asked You, and I saw some of those nice 3-furlong drills, and I did a lot of research on the dam, who was somewhat successful, 4 for 25, campaigned by senior. She won $89,000, and the dam did win her debut. And I started thinking about Will Gear Road, and it wasn't really coming to me until about 10 minutes ago when I looked him up, and I'm like, that was a Finger Lakes horse, and indeed he was. Senior owned and trained him, and he ran 24 times here at Finger Lakes with 8 victories, 6 seconds, and 4 thirds. Earned just under $100,000. Won his second career start for maiden 12.5. So I figured I'd do a little bit more investigating, and I went to Pedigree Query, which is a very useful website, and I typed in Will Gear Road, and then I looked at his progeny, which as a sire you would expect to see at least somewhat of a list, but not the case. Only 1 listed in the progeny, and that was Who Asked You. So you don't see that very often. You'll see the dam with only 1 horse, but usually these sires, they've got a boatload of youngsters, and not the case here. Will Gear Road, so this is totally a senior connection. He owned Will Gear Road. He campaigned Sky Ballet. Now you get Who Asked You, senior training for owner-breeder Rebecca Gale Zarnacki. Hinted at a little bit of ability with some of the moves. 5-2. Ruby's Mission makes a lot of sense. She's progressing nicely from her 2-year-old to 3-year-old season. A good 3rd place finish to a repeat winner named Princess Sonia. That was on the 22nd of May. She was given about 9 weeks off to make her 2nd start of the season, and she ran very well to I believe that was a first-timer for the Niz and Torelli, who won that race on the 31st of July. It was a good runner-up effort. She makes a lot of sense. She's 8-5, and rightfully so. Ruby's Mission, Di Diego looking for 2. Both halves of the entry have hinted at some ability. Happy Time with her 2nd career start at Laurel. Our First Lady with her career debut run back in early October here last year. Our First Lady finally replicated that debut run on the 18th of July, so she is progressing in the right direction. Maybe that was with the addition of Lasix, perhaps back-to-back races with blinkers. Both halves of the entry in Ruby's Mission, they make a lot of sense. 5-4-1 for me here in the 4th, starting our Tuesday Pick 5. Post time in a couple of minutes. Less than 1 minute until the fourth, the start of our Tuesday Pick 5. It's post time for the fourth race, a field of 6, 5 fillies, 1 mare with lasting speed, the longest shot on the board, the lone 5-year-old mare. 6-5 for the Jim Aquilano duo, Our First Lady, Happy Time. They are the favorites. Second choice with the 4, Ruby's Mission. A field of 6 facing up to the starting gate. Our First Lady is in. Happy Time right alongside. So both of the fillies can feel pretty comfortable in the starting gate. Here's the lone mare with lasting speed. Ruby's Mission will be next. Emmanuel Di Diego looking for a riding double. Here's the lone debutante, Who Asked You? A Finger Lakes horse, top and bottom. Wilgare Road, her sire and her dam both competed here at Finger Lakes. Tintagel will be the last one to load to the outside. Just about ready for the Tuesday Pick 5. And there they go. Happy Time away in last. With lasting speed and Ruby's Mission vie for the top spot. Who Asked You stalking from the 3rd position. Our First Lady strides into 4th inside of Tintagel, and Happy Time is the last of all. And Ruby's Mission is the first of all, a little quicker than With Lasting Speed. They build up nearly 5 lengths to Our First Lady, joining Who Asked You. 3.5 clear of Tintagel. Another 2.5 to Happy Time. With Lasting Speed. The long shot, one of the long shots, gets the lead past the 3/8 from Ruby's Mission. Who Asked You? The lone debutante with a good-looking stride racing to the quarter pole. Here she comes with her run. Who Asked You? Looking pretty good at the quarter pole. And she gets the lead at the top of the lane. Ruby's Mission tries to fight with her with lasting speed from the inside. Tintagel fights for 4th with Our First Lady. Who Asked You? Finger Lakes top and bottom blood past the 8th pole. She's the leader from Ruby's Mission. Tintagel makes a move for 3rd. Who Asked You? A winning debut. Tintagel's up for 2nd. In 3rd, Ruby's Mission. And there's Happy Time finally figuring it out in the final quarter of a mile with a good stride to claim 4th. The lone debutante, Who Asked You? 113 and 25 100ths. Big long shot, Tintagel, the 7 is up for 2nd, I believe. But we'll let the placing judges sort out that position as the photo sign is up on the board for 2nd. Make sure to hold all tickets. 7-10 Tajel. Second, third place for Ruby's Mission. Fourth place, 1A Happy Time. Talk about a filly bred top and bottom for Finger Lakes. You got her. Her name is Who Asked You? A winning debut for this 4-year-old Dark Bay or Brown filly by Wilgare Road out of the Buddha Dam Sky Ballet. Owned and bred in New York by Rebecca Gale Zarnacki. Winning a trainer is Michael S. Ferraro. Winning jockey Luis Perez. Race 4 is official. The double 2-5, $43.60. A 5-7 exacta, $54. 5-7-4 trifecta, $45.50. 10-cent super, 5-7-4, $1, $12.27. 5-2-5 early pick 3, $42.12. 7 with 5 with 2 with 5. The early pick 4, $269.50. Fifth race starts our late pick 4. It's in 21 minutes at 3:13. We do have a jockey change concerning number 4, Betty Rubble, new jockey Stephen Frett. And fans, here's a couple of days to think about coming up in the month of September. Obviously, Labor Day, always a big day here at Finger Lakes Gaming and Racetrack. Weather permitting, we will have our annual jockey foot race. I don't think we were able to get it in 2022. Hopefully we can do it this year on a Labor Day. If so, for every jockey that participates in the jockey foot race, Finger Lakes Gaming and Racetrack will be donating $200 for each jockey. And that goes to the Permanently Disabled Jockeys Fund, the PDJF. Always a great cause. A lot of fun with that jockey foot race. Free Finger Lakes programs. The chicken barbecue with a couple of sides, $15. We will be having a giveaway, complimentary jockey group photo. Members of our 2023 jockey colony will have that nice photo. That's going to be a good giveaway. We'll have our How to Bet seminars. $20 voucher given away randomly for each session, couple of them. Post time at 1:15. And we're going to have our Genesee Valley Breeders' Stakes, part of the Labor Day action. So let's think about that day, fans. Labor Day is always a big day here at Finger Lakes Gaming and Racetrack. 1:15, all sorts of great festivities planned for the Labor Day program. Fans, be advised, our racetrack is now graded a sloppy. It remains opened up, but we are now listed sloppy for this upcoming 5th race.
And we're in the paddock for race number 5, getting a lot of rain now. It's just starting to lighten up now, but it just came down. So expect the track to be downgraded a little bit here as we continue to get moisture in the track. First time starter, who asked you if you don't like anybody in the race? Sometimes the firster is the way to go, especially with a hot hand of Louis Perez. As we go to the 5th, a 5,000 claim race. Now we're the 2 races today or have never won 4 races. Pretty competitive group here. Going to start with the 5-horse Dosage and Mimosas. The last time we had the downpour like that was her last race. It was the last race of the day, and she was able to take advantage. She liked that sealed off track. It wasn't listed as off, but it's certainly got some moisture in it, and I think that made all the difference for Dosage and Mimosas. She was able to get up with the pace that day, and with the weight off, ran very well for Carlos Barbosa. Another chance today. This isn't a tougher field at all, so Dosage and Mimosa is a strong player in race number 5. That one is at odds of 5-2. The 3-horse is Homedale Park. She's got to do her running from out of it at this shorter distance as she turns back after a couple routes. Finished 4th in her last start at 5,000. A tougher $5,000 field than this one with Smart Broad, and I know you ain't talking to me. And Homedale Park had been running against tougher, goes back to the level of the claim last time and stays at 5,000 today, and just simply faces a little bit easier field that she's got to be considered at least to hit the board. She's at odds of 3-1. The 6-horse Let's Maga did beat up on easier last time, as she was supposed to win that race. There wasn't much speed in it, and it wasn't much as far as horses that were good in it. It was an easier field than this one, and that was at 5.5. Goes a little further today. Now, there's not a lot of speed in this race, which kind of helps her cause as well. She could probably get out there, and she might be with the leaders of the same type of trip if they do 46 and change or 47 to the half like she got last time. No doubt that she would not be a surprise in this race. Never won on an off track, but she's hit the board frequently in the past when she's encountered a little moisture in the track. So 5 minutes to post for the 5th. We start the late pick 4 with this race.
And bugler Randy Gonzalez has the fillies and mares coming onto the track for today's fifth race, a 6-furlong affair, 3-year-olds and up, non-winners of 2 races since February 15th. They're non-winners of 4 races, claiming tag of $5,000. Stephen Frett, new jockey for Betty Rubble. Our racetrack now graded sloppy. Our fifth race starts the late pick 4 post time in about 3 minutes. There they are, one Winter Siren, Giovanni Paredes, one of 2 fillies in the fifth. 2 Clifton Punch, Heman Harkey. 3 is Homedale Park, Jackie Davis. The other filly is the 4, Betty Rubble, picking up the mount, Stephen Frett. 5 is Dosage and Mimosas, Carlos Barbosa, the current favorite. Barbosa looking for 2. 6, Let's Maga looking for 2 in a row, Kevin Navarro. 7, Cat Glasses Kathy, Emmanuel Di Diego, Jimmy Wright looking for doubles apiece. And the 8 is Christmas Dinner with Christian Navarro. Post time in a little more than 2 minutes, starting our late pick 4. Couple of salty veterans taking some money here in the fifth race. One of them especially the current favorite, number 5, Dosage and Mimosas. I've been a big fan of Dosage and Mimosas throughout her career. I have her picked second this afternoon. My top selection's offering us some value. That's the 8, Christmas Dinner. Christmas Dinner defeated Dosage and Mimosas on the 24th of May. What's even more appealing is the fact that she finished in front of Daredevil Bull, who finished 4th yesterday in the Arctic Queen. Daredevil Bull is a very, very nice filly. I believe that was her first start of the season, and Christmas Dinner benefited with a race already under her belt. But still, Christmas Dinner outperformed her odds that afternoon with an outside stalking trip. She should get a similar trip this afternoon. She's very fond of an off-track. She is the lone Floridian. I do like Floridians on an off racetrack, and her being the lone Florida bred. She already has 5 victories of her 11 career victories on an off racetrack. She has a lofty Tomlinson of 404. She drops out of a tougher starter allowance group. There's Daredevil Bull. There's Ramon and Trivia. Those are good ones. Why not Christmas Dinner with her outside post at a nice price? We'll give her a little bit of a look here in race 5. 5, Dosage and Mimosas. She's a talented gal, no question about it. 74 times she's gone to the post. 42 of those races she has finished in the top 3. She's earned over $200,000 in her career. 16 victories, 16 seconds. She doesn't mind an off track either. 19 starts when the racetrack is wet. 5 wins, 5 seconds, 3/3. Couple of salty veterans, my top 2 picks here in race 5. Christmas Dinner, the 9-year-old mare, and Dosage and Mimosas, the 10-year-old mare. 6, Let's Maga. She's looking for 2 in a row. David Oyola's been heating up the last couple of weeks. He's had quite a few winners. He was off to a slow start. David is a very good trainer. He had good success in 2022. A little slow to start the 23 campaign. He's back at it doing what he likes to do, and that's get to the winner's circle. Let's Maga's back at it also. She's gunning for 2 in a row. Finally rounding back into form when she was finally dropped all the way to the bottom. So there you see one lone $5,000 appearance, and it was a length victory. Although the gals she beat, somewhat suspect, they were up the track a little bit in the opener. But Let's Maga has past class, and sometimes past classers, when they get back to that taste of winning, they can rattle off victories in a row. I'll make her my 3rd pick. Then the 3, Homedale Park. She made quite an appearance in the post parade. She's making a good appearance leading up to the starting gate. She does her best running from well off the pace, and she does have some success over a wet racetrack as well. 8, 5, 6, 3 here in the 5th, starting our late pick 4. They are approaching the starting gate, they being the fillies and mares for the 5th. It's post time for the fifth race. The 8 fillies and mares are just arriving at the starting gate. This is the first leg of our late pick 4. Dosage Mimosas is the current favorite. She is looking for her 17th career victory. Quite a career for this 10-year-old mare. 42 top 3 finishes. She has earned over $200,000 doing it the hard way, showing up each and every race. Dosage Mimosas, the favorite. Winter Siren, one of 2 fillies, the first of 8 into the gate. Here's Clifton Punch, well respected this afternoon. Likewise for Homedale Park. She is the current second choice. She's turning back in distance. Made quite a nice appearance in the post parade. There's the other filly, Betty Rubble. Dosage Mimosas. She and Homedale Park, both conditioned by M. Anthony Ferraro. David Oyola's Let's Maga. Big shout out to Frank and Randy Gonzalez, couple of Bay Area guys, some Raider fans. It's Randy's birthday. They're in Reno at the Silver Legacy. Big shout out to the Gonzaleses, enjoying the Finger Lakes Tuesday card. Just about ready for our late pick 4. And there they go. Homedale Park away in last, but at least she's turning back in distance, and she's more of a late runner than a front runner. With the top spot, Dosage Mimosas. Christmas Dinner shows good pace. So too does Betty Rubble and Let's Maga, one from the outside. Cat Glasses Kathy makes a bid for 5th. Right there with her, Clifton Punch. Better than 3.5 to Winter Siren, joined by Homedale Park. So with the top spot, it is Let's Maga and Dosage Mimosas, and Christmas Dinner gets to stalk from her outside post, and she's trying to close in with her run outside of Cat Glasses Kathy. Betty Rubble gives way. Clifton Punch is 6 off the pace. 3.5 or 4 to Homedale Park with Winter Siren. Dosage Mimosas and Let's Maga. Here comes to the outside Christmas Dinner, and Cat Glasses Kathy's looking for somewhere to go in behind the top 3. And farther out is Clifton Punch, tipping to the extreme outside for the final quarter of a mile. Dosage Mimosas and Let's Maga. Cat Glasses Kathy. Christmas Dinner continues with her run, and here's Clifton Punch from the far outside. Dosage Mimosas looking for her 17th career victory. Late charge from Clifton Punch. Dosage Mimosas and Clifton Punch. Dosage Mimosas. What a salty veteran mare she is. Another one for Barbosa. Dosage Mimosas from Clifton Punch, Cat Glasses Kathy, and Let's Maga. Gotta have respect for Dosage Mimosas. She throws it down each and every race. Been quite a fun racehorse to call throughout my tenure here at Finger Lakes Gaming and Racetrack. That's the 17th career victory for this talented 10-year-old mare. The final running time was 1:13 and 88/100ths. Photo for the balance. Two, Clifton Punch finishes second. Third place, 7, Cat Glasses Kathy. Fourth place, number 6, Let's Maga. 17th career victory, Dosage and Mimosas, a 10-year-old dark bay or brown mare by Bustin' Stones out of the dam Parsippany. Owned and bred in New York by Dr. Zachary Passaretti, winning a trainer as M. Anthony Ferraro, a double for the bug boy, Carlos Barbosa. And race 5 is official, 5-2-7-6. The double 5-5, $16.60. A 5-2 exacta, $19. 5-2-7 trifecta, $20.12. 10-cent super, 5-2-7-6, $16.30. 2-5-5 pick 3, $40.62. On to race 6, a nice 2-year-old filly race. Scratch number 2, Stone Power. 2 Stone Power scratched. Emmanuel Di Diego is the new jockey. 6 Red Wine and Whiskey, 1 pound over. 5 Joyful Soul, an additional workout. 11th of August here at Finger Lakes, a muddy racetrack that morning. 3/8, 36.40 seconds breezing. The 2-year-old fillies made in special weights will commence our late pick 3, and post time is in a little more than 23 minutes at 3:45.
Okay, almost like deja vu for Dosage and Mimosas. Got the rainstorm before the race and really steps up on and off track. Carlos Barbosa again put her in position to win the race, and she was able to do so. She's certainly gotten some good luck with as far as Mother Nature, as the rain just hit at the right time, and she was able to beat probably similar, if not easier, field than last time. Probably why the money came in on her at odds of 6-5. Barbosa for M. Anthony Ferraro to win the fifth. Now the real fun one, the most interesting race of the day, we'll call it, the 2-year-old fillies. This one is a maiden race going a short distance of 5 furlongs. We scratched the 2, Stone Power. You got D. Diego on the 6, Red Wine and Whiskey. It wasn't a tough enough race to decipher. You also got these 2-year-old fillies running on an off track during the rain. So it should be a lot of fun here with these youngsters. See the money pretty spread out. I guess you got a lukewarm favorite with the 9 Maggie's Palace, mainly because of the works and how the other 2-year-old filly for Carl Grusmark ran, as that one ran off the screen last time. This one probably not quite as good as that rival, but she certainly has been running okay in the morning. Do like one of the horses that have run, the one She's Enticing. I think that was a tougher field when you consider the winner for Carl Grusmark. That one was a runaway winner. She's on for bigger and better things. Probably her next start will be at Saratoga. And so there's no shame in any of the horses that ran in the race way behind her. And she got some experience from that race as well. She chased that winner most of the way. I mean, she was second most of the way before understandably fading, or that one just simply pulling away from the field. She's out of She's a Stone Cold Dago. That's a have to. She's an Arctic Queen horse that just broke its maiden the other day. Of course, that was at an easier level. But I could see this horse showing improvement second time out, and without that good-looking filly in this race, she should be a lot more competitive, and she's at odds of 5-1. The 6 horse is an interesting firster. She's at odds of 7-1. She's sent in here by a pretty good trainer, high percentage trainer. Does have a bullet work on a good racetrack at Thistledown. The dam was a 19-time winner. This is the first foal out of that dam by War Dancer, one of 2 horses in this field by War Dancer. And again, she's working well in the morning, and this is a good spot for her because she is a New York bred, even though she's been working out in Cleveland. This one right now at odds of 7-1. Certainly a good long shot to think as a possibility. I mentioned the 9 Maggie's Palace for Carl Grusmark, with that really good-looking filly that had that big performance not too long ago. That was back at the beginning of August. This one does have some good works. Maybe not the same kind of works as the other one, but out of the dam's Sister Margaret, that one had 3 wins and 7 starts, and 2 of those wins were on off tracks, on muddy, sloppy surfaces, so may not mind the off track today, and she is getting some backing, and that's a positive sign. She's at odds of 2-1. And then you got the outside horse, Moon Chariot, for Linda Dixon. Linda Dixon and Hector Alejandro very good with these young horses. Hector probably broke a few of them in here. This one's out of a dam. It's more of a router. Only 1 dirt sprint in 47 starts. That was mainly because had a lot of success in synthetic races. But overall, I mean, especially with the sire Orb, this one does have some good sprint breeding, and not the fastest of works for a Linda Dixon trainee. But again, you got to respect these connections with the young horses because they've done very well, especially last year. They did very well with their 2- and 3-year-olds and first-time starters. They got a couple other firsters in here. You got Ella Speed for Jeremiah Engelhardt. Got Ray Lou Gutierrez aboard. They're always worth a look. $50,000 weanling. This one out of Duracell is the first foal, actually, out of that dam. Not the fastest it works, but another trainer that's had a history of doing extremely well with the 2-year-old fillies here at Finger Lakes. So those are a few of the contenders. in a pretty interesting and a pretty good 2-year-old filly maiden race. Exactitry Super Daily Double at pick 3 starts. We do scratch the 2, Stone Power.
Race 6, 2-year-old fillies, maiden special weights, a 5 furlong affair, scratch 2, Stone Power. Emmanuel Di Diego, new jockey 6, Red Wine and Whiskey, 1 pound over. 5 Joyful Soul has that additional workout, 11th of August, Finger Lakes, Muddy Racetrack that morning, 3/8, 36.40 seconds breezing. Sloppy Racetrack. It has been sealed for race 6. A sealed sloppy racetrack. Race 6, starting our late pick 3 in a little more than 3 minutes. There's the field. Number 1, She's Enticing. Luis Perez and Anthony Ferraro looking for doubles. Scratch the 2. Number 3, Exodes. Heman Harkey. Lots of debutantes in this affair, 6 of them. One of them is the 4, City Kitty. Joel Cruz looking for 2. Another one of the debutantes, 5 Joyful Soul. Carlos Barbosa looking for 3. And Anthony Ferraro looking for that trading double stablemate to the one she's enticing. Continuing with the debutantes, 6 red wine and whiskey, Emmanuel Di Diego picking up the mount. He's looking for a riding double. 7 has skipped the parade. Back to the debutantes for the outside 3. 8 Ella Speed, Aurelu Gutierrez. The 9 is Maggie's Palace, Jackie Davis. 10 Moon Chariot, Nazario Alvarado. Once again, 8, 9, and 10, part of the contingency of debutantes. Skipping the parade, 7 Harley, Kevin Navarro. So we have 9 2-year-old fillies ready to rock and roll. Race 6 in a little more than 2 minutes. Difficult handicapping assignment to start our late pick 3. 9 2-year-old fillies, maiden special weights, 6 of the 9 debuting, the other 3 exiting the same affair on the 1st of August, our first baby race of the season, which was won by My Bronx Baby. My Bronx Baby, a Carl Grusmark filly by Matoli, looked very good winning that afternoon. Why not go with a Carl Grusmark filly here, making her first start? That's the 9 Maggie's Palace. She's currently 2-1. The price is nothing to brag about. I did notice she has the front wraps on for her debutante run. Palace Malice, I like the sire. The dam was pretty successful in a limited career of 7 starts with 3 wins, 1 second, earning $124,000. She won her debut at Aqueduct in a maiden special weight race. Her second career victory was an off-the-turf 7-furlong affair at beautiful Belmont Park, a muddy racetrack that afternoon, winning the first state bred. She won the second state bred at Aqueduct, 6.5 furlong sprint over a muddy racetrack. So she has the blood for an off racetrack. She has good workouts. I just dialed up My Bronx Baby's past performances, and there was only one work that matched Maggie's Palace. That was on the 19th of June. And Maggie's Palace worked quicker that morning than My Bronx Baby. I don't think they worked in company because there was a filly named Lucy Playa who scratched out of that 1st of August affair, a stablemate to My Bronx Baby, who had a very similar move on the 19th of June. But what I'm leading up to is Maggie's Palace was quicker that morning. She rattled off another quick 3-furlong move thereafter. Back-to-back solid gate drills. Nothing really eye-catching, but at least they were good maintenance moves. The thing I like about Maggie is she has 3 workouts at this 5-furlong distance. So it looks like there's plenty of good foundation, including a 101-1 on the 1st of August. I'll make her my top pick. She's 9-5. The price, though, is a little short, especially considering you never know what you're going to get with these 2-year-old races. There could be all sorts of monsters in the wake. One of them could be the one she's enticing, who had the misfortune of running up against Maggie's stablemate, My Bronx Baby. But she ran well. She did a lot of the dirty work chasing My Bronx Baby that day. She got a little discouraged late and gave up second in the final furlong. She should benefit from a race under her belt. And I remember talking to Anthony Ferraro before her initial look. He said that he thought she's enticing, was going to be a pretty good little runner. He expected her to finish in the top 3 that afternoon, and she did. She'll benefit with that race under her belt. I've made her my second pick. One of the other first-timers that I think is pretty intriguing is the 6 Red Wine and Whiskey, especially considering on the 8th of July, she worked out 47 seconds at Thistledown, breezing out of the gate. I would have liked to seen a Finger Lakes move. There is also another knock, obviously with no works locally. She has not worked out since the 17th of July, so she has almost a month of inactivity in the morning. Her dam was a runner, Ewan Tequila, who made a boatload of money and won a boatload of races, and she was a Florida bred, so there's good mud blood on the bottom. 3 Exodes, also coming out of the My Bronx Baby affair, has every right to improve in her second career start. A pretty challenging 2-year-old baby race to kickstart our late pick 3. They are nearing the gate. The 2-year-old fillies have quickly arrived at the starting gate for race 6. Maggie's Palace, one of 6 debutantes getting the most love on the board. She is the favorite. Loading fairly quickly for a bunch of first-time starters. Already up to the 9, Maggie's Palace, the favorite. There is good tote support for the one. She's enticing. She is the clear-cut second choice. So here's Maggie's Palace, one from the outside. Moon Chariot will be the last of 9 to the extreme outside. Still trying to get Maggie's Palace situated. Just about in with Maggie. Moon Chariot, the last of 9. Still waiting for the outside filly to move into the starting gate. Looks like she's situated, ready for the 2-year-old girls. And there they go. Harley away in last. Quick start for Red Wine and Whiskey. She's enticing. Exodes wants to mix it up. Ella speeds into the 4th spot inside of Maggie's Palace. Moon Chariot from the extreme outside. City Kitty runs with her, 7 or 8 off the lead. Long ways back to Harley and Joyful Soul. So they race to the 3-8. She's enticing. Exodes, Red Wine and Whiskey, 3 wide. Maggie's Palace now hitting her best stride, and she's a good 6 off the lead, and she has momentum past the 5/16 as Red Wine and Whiskey's up to the front. After her races Ella Speed, so let's stick with the leaders. Red Wine and Whiskey, she's enticing. Maggie's Palace making up a lot of ground up the inside. Red Wine and Whiskey, here comes Maggie's Palace along the fence at the 8th pole. Maggie's Palace with momentum trying to come and get Red Wine and Whiskey. Maggie's Palace, Red Wine and Whiskey, up goes Maggie. Maggie's Palace in front. Red Wine and Whiskey big in defeat. 3rd and 4th tied, Ella Speed, and she's enticing. Good 2-year-old baby girl race. Red Wine and Whiskey at a big number. Did a lot of the dirty work, putting away both of the experienced gals. She's enticing Exodes, but it is Maggie's Palace who really hit her best stride past the 5/16. And she came with a strong run. 1 and 46 1/100ths the final time. Photo will determine the winner. Nine, Maggie's Palace first. Second place to the 6. Red Wine and Whiskey. Third place, 8, Ella Speed. Fourth place, 1, She's Enticing. Maggie's Palace. She's ready to move into the winner's circle. Winning a debut. 2-year-old Bay filly by Palace Malice out of the dam Sister Margaret. Owned by Dorico Racing and Breeding LLC. Carl Grusmark has won both of the 2-year-old baby girl races this season. And you know the girl? That girl, Jackie Davis. Maggie's Palace was bred in New York by Joseph Dorico. Race 6 is official, 9-6-8-1, the double 5-9, $18.40, a 9-6 exacta, $52.50. 9-6-8 trifecta, $88.12, 10-cent super 9-6-8-1, $51.15. 7th race, scratch 1A, tis lucky part of the entry. 7th race starts our late daily double post time in 21 minutes and 4:15.
Another 2-year-old filly winner from the Carl Grusmark barn, Maggie's Palace. Well, she wasn't as quick early as her stablemate, but she did get enough of a battle up front and got a nice trip under Jackie Davis up the rail to outbattle Red Wine and Whiskey to get the victory. Maggie's Palace, what a job Carl Grusmark has done with these young horses. As we look at the 7th, 12 minutes to post, allowance race, never won 2 condition, going to mile 70. We scratched the 1A, Tis Lucky. Good allowance race here. You do have some early money on the 2, Dr. Kraft, who will try older horses after running third in a restricted 3-year-old stake, the Ontario County Stakes, against Looms Bowley. Looms Bowley ran the other day at Saratoga. Of course, was in pretty tough against a really good group. But this one did run against older horses once, but it was on the turf. Going a mile at Belmont, try stretching out again a mile 7. He's got some class. He's got good numbers. You have to figure, even though a lot of those races against restricted 3-year-olds, he's one that could be improving as his 3-year-old season goes along, and he's getting a lot of early action at odds of 1 to 2. Should be one of the major players in this race, and is at least early. He's back on Lasix after having to come off Lasix for that restricted 3-year-old stake. Other horses to consider, the 3 Color Commish was claimed for 11,000 and then stepped up to face allowance horses, and didn't embarrass himself. Actually ran extremely well behind a horse that just simply had it easy on the front end, as Shanty Shack opted not to even try to challenge Big George's Kingdom. Big George's Kingdom pretty quick early, so it might have been the right choice for Shanty Shack, who ended up finishing third. Color Commish, though, would be unable to chase that one down. But it was a good effort in first try going long. Smart move, claim, and then stretch out because the horse is bred to go long. And could move one more step forward and get to the winner's circle. 6-1 morning line on Color Commish. He's right now at odds of 7 to 2. The 7 is ASAP Restoration, and this one's a price in here at odds of 9 to 1. A lot bigger price than he was here before on good racetracks, which is kind of surprising, as he actually ran pretty well. So if you liked him back on June 27th and July 10th, you got to like him again today, at least to hit the board. I mean, last time he was in an impossible spot at Saratoga going 7 furlongs at odds of 42 to 1. I mean, you could draw a line through that race, and what you have is 2 lifetime races going long on off tracks, and the horse hitting the board. So the price is right on ASAP Restoration, who not the best post, but definitely a threat in this race for Asaf Ronan. The 1 Shanty Shack looks to be the inside speed, but you would assume that Hyperspeed, who's outside him, will have some pace as well. That one has been close in sprints to early paces, so you would think that he'd have some speed going long to pressure. But if that one opts not to apply the pressure to Shanty Shack, maybe Captain of My Heart might flash speed either, but that one doesn't seem as quick, then you would think Shanty Shack would be that much stronger, and that'll be the case. Now, he didn't even try to go after Big George's Kingdom. Today, being inside of the other speed, you would expect him to be on the front end, and that's where he's had his most success. Right now, Shanty Shack at odds of 8 to 1. Well, those are a few of the contenders. A lot of the early play on the 3-year-old Dr. Kraft, who did run 4th in the New York Stallion Series race at Aqueduct, and get some good customers in there. Exacta Tri Super and Daily Double offered. Scratch the 1A, Tis Lucky.
Coming onto the track for the seventh race, 3-year-olds and up, allowance conditions. Now winners of 2 races, 1 mile and 70 yards. Scratch 1A, tis lucky part of the entry. First leg of the late double, here they are. One, Shanty Shack with Joel Cruz. Cruzy looking for 2. 2 is Dr. Kraft, big favorite, 4 to 5. Jackie Davis looking for a riding double. 3 is Color Commish, Raylu Gutierrez. 4, Captain of My Heart, Nazario Alvarado. 5 is Hyper Speed, John Davila Jr., stablemate to 3, Color Commish. Maya, Jeremiah Engelhart conditioning the 3 and the 5. Skip ahead to the 7, ASAP Restoration with Heeman Harkey. Six Party News will be a little late arrival to the parade, getting a saddle adjustment, saddle reset on 6 Party News. Going to be out here momentarily. When Party News surfaces, Rafael Rohina Jr. is the jockey. A field of 7. Our 7th race begins our late daily double. Post time in a couple of minutes. Dr. Kraft is even money and Color Commish is 5 to 2. How about some value with Shanty Shack? Shanty Shack making his 5th start of the season, 3 consecutive 2-turn affairs. I've always liked Shanty Shack. I liked his maiden special weight victory on the 25th of July last year. He's run into a couple of tough customers so far in those back-to-back route races. Leo and Royal, I think he's got a bright future. Big George's Kingdom, when you can get him to the racetrack in the afternoon, he's pretty solid. He had no shot, Shanty Shack, in his initial start as a 4-year-old in a 5-furlong race against a speedster named Ease Wise Guy. Ran pretty credible in the 21st of June 6-furlong race against Fiery Heart. He's better suited for 2 turns. He can handle an off-track. He was lower odds than Color Commish on the 25th of July, and he did the dirty work chasing Big George's Kingdom. It leads me to Shanty Shack, offering value along the rail, in my opinion, at 7 to 1. 2, Dr. Kraft, 3rd in the Ontario County. He is a 3-year-old. He's tackling elders for just the 2nd time in his career. Looms boldly, Acoustic Aver, very, very quick, New York bred 3-year-olds. Dr. Kraft ran a decent 3rd behind them. His lone career victory was over a sealed muddy racetrack. He gets a sealed racetrack this afternoon. This is his first start on the main track around 2 turns. He does have that 1-mile 2-turn turf race at Belmont. Let's not even take a look at that one. He's got some bread for the added real estate. The sire, the lieutenant, had some success around 2 turns. The Dams by Dixieland Band, that indicates 2 turns, no question about it. Now, the dam was 0 for 2, but if you go back to her dam, her name was Camella, and she raced 33 times and won $398,000, and she was very successful in long-distance turf races. I always say turf horses like off tracks. Dr. Kraft, 1 for 1. He's got the blood on the bottom for this added real estate. It's just a short price at even money. 3, Color Commish is getting a lot of action. I don't have him in my top 3. 5, Hyperspeed's going to stretch out. Taproot out of a Warfront mare. Should be forwardly positioned with an aggressive jockey, John Davila Jr. You get 7 to 1. 7, ASAP Restoration. Both of his races back in June and July here at Finger Lakes in this allowance N2L race make him somewhat competitive. He was 5 to 2 in both of those races. If you're willing to forgive that 7-furlong race at Saratoga in early August just 10 days ago and you return back to the Finger Lakes form in this condition, 5 to 1 seems kind of nice, especially if you like them in those races at 5 to 2. Color Commish getting a lot of support. This will be a 2nd start for trainer Jeremiah Engelhart. He did make some noticeable improvement when stretching out and under the training tutelage of Maya. Now he gets back-to-back two-turn races, and he gets Raylu Gutierrez in the saddle. He's 5-2. Pretty good seventh race starting our late double. Shanty Shack, my top pick at a decent price. The late double coming up in a little more than a minute. It's post time for the seventh race. Shanty Shack, the first one in. Joel Cruz, Beth Miller-Saul looking for doubles. Got there earlier with America's Justice. The favorite, Dr. Kraft, the 3-year-old, recent third in the Ontario County. This is his first two-turn race on the main track. Color Commish moving forward. 1 of 2 for Jeremiah Engelhart. Here's Captain of My Heart. Here's the other Jeremiah trainee. That's Hyper Speed. Then you get Party News, who's run 2 big races in his 4-year-old start around 2 turns. An ASAP Restoration for Ace-Off Ronan to the outside. They're at the post. And there they go. Captain of My Heart and Shanty Shack are showing pace. Dr. Kraft wants to go on the stretch out. Here's Color Commish. Raylu always is aggressive, and he has him forwardly positioned. ASAP Restoration gets a little wide trip to the 7/8. Captain of My Heart now 5th from the inside. Hyper Speed stretching out, not near the lead. And towards the tail of the field is late running Party News. So it is Shanty Shack with the speed along the inside from Color Commish. And Dr. Kraft is forwardly positioned along the rail in 3rd. ASAP Restoration has the 4th spot. Captain of My Heart's in 5th. And I'm going to Hyper Speed, a little more than 5 off the lead near the 5/8, and he's about 4 lengths in front of Party News, a little less than 9 lengths from first to last. Joel Cruz and Shanty Shack on the lead, 24-1. Color Commission, Raylu Gutierrez, Hound from the outside. Dr. Kraft and Jackie Davis ride the rail from 3rd. Here's ASAP Restoration trying to hit his best ride heading into the turn. Captain of My Heart, 6 off the lead. Is Shanty Shack still has the lead. Shanty Shack, Color Commish under a little bit of pressure. Dr. Kraft is 3rd, then ASAP Restoration. Captain of My Heart, Hyper Speed at the tail. They're still Party News, and we race past the quarter pole. Shanty Shack, Color Commish continues with his run, and Dr. Kraft moves on through along the inside. Color Commish, Shanty Shack, Dr. Kraft, ASAP Restoration joins the fray. Here's ASAP Restoration and Color Commish. Color Commish, they move on by Shanty Shack. Hyper Speed late on the scene. ASAP Restoration has found the front. ASAP Restoration the winner. ASAP Restoration from Color Commish, Shanty Shack, and Hyper Speed. ASAP Restoration comes back quick on 10 days rest. Back to Finger Lakes in this 2-turn race. And he's the unofficial winner. Out finishing 3 Color Commission, the run to the wire. Shanty Shack and Hyper Speed involved in the photo for 3rd and 4th. 144 and 62/100ths the final time. One Shanty Shack hangs on for third. Fourth place, 5 Hyperspeed. ASAP Restoration is in the winner's circle. A 4-year-old chestnut gelding by Speightster. Out of the Dam, Wild and Excitable. Ace off Ronan, winning owner trader, winning jockey the He-Man, Eamon Harkey. Winner was bred in New York by Dr. David Leroy Smart and Gary Lee Smart. All right, 7's in the books officially. 7-3-1-5. 9-7 double, $39.40. 7-3 exacta, $36. 7-3-1 trifecta, $26.75. 10-cent super, 7-3-1-5, $16.47. One more race to go on the Tuesday card. Scratch number 8, Gambling Man. The nightcap is in 22 minutes at 4:47.
All right, we're in the paddock for the last race on today's card, race number 8. Looking back at the 7th, ASAP Restoration. They did find him a little bit. He did go down in odds, but coming back to Finger Lakes where he hit the board 2 straight times at that level, figured to be one of the players in there. And Heeman Harkey able to close ground to get the victory for Asaf Ronan to take the 7th. Just a reminder, we have one more day of our race week. We got Wednesday. Tomorrow's card starts at 1:15, an 8-race card. And this race will conclude today's card. It's a never won 2 claiming 5 going a distance of 6 furlongs. Not a lot of pace in this race. You got to figure Cody's Express showed a little more pace sending from the inside. Probably be the same kind of tactics because he's inside again. And there's not a lot of pace outside of maybe bad water. Figured to show some pace in New York before arriving here. But he's turning back in distance from a route. The 7 is an interesting one for the Engelhart barn because he hasn't raced since November, but he was running against the 11-9 maidens, beating probably a little better horses, and ran second in the slop to Devil or Angel, who's a good horse in these conditions here at Finger Lakes. He dropped to 5 as he tailed off at the end of the year and was wide in his last start. Now, maybe needing the break, he comes off the layoff for his first start as a 4-year-old, and obviously we've seen it before. Engelhart can win off the layoff, and he doesn't face the strongest of fields here. That he's should be one of the main contenders, but right now he's a pretty good price on the board for an Engelhart horse at odds of 9-2. I mean, people scared off of the layoff since November. It is some time away. The 2 horse mentioned, Cody's Express, looked like things were good for this horse last time, breaking from the rail, but ended up getting in a little bit of a speed duel with the horse trained by Ronnie Breed Jr., and neither one of them would back off the other one. It's not like they went that quick, though, almost 47 to the half. But he did put that other speed horse away, but it did set up for the big favorite, Central Love, to go right on by. He's 0 for 4 on an off track, but his numbers are okay on the off track that you shouldn't mind, and especially if he's able to get a clear lead in this race. Again, not a lot of speed outside him. That could really factor out well for Cody's Express to win the last race. Looking at the 3, Cousin Greg, more of an underneath type as he finished 4th in his last race after hitting the board without much excuses previous to, but it's hard horse to leave out. He does have the 1 victory that was at this distance of 6 furlongs when he broke his maiden, but he's definitely a contender as he's always right there, but maybe a good horse to use underneath in exactas, tries, and supers. These are now at odds of 5-2. The 9 is Bad Water. He's at odds of 11-1. He's turning back in distance, showed absolutely nothing in his first start off a layoff, but maybe needing the race coming in here from New York. It was his first race over the track. He did take a lot of money at odds of 2-1 against similar horses, and maybe he can improve second start off that little bit of a layoff, second trip over the track. Certainly bred to run well against these. Just hasn't shown much since his $25,000 maiden victory way back when in January. That's some of the horses that are getting play and some that I like here in the last race. Got 8 minutes to post. We scratched the 8. Gambling Man.
On the track for the nightcap, 3-year-olds and up now, winners of 2 races, 6 furlongs the distance, 5,000 the level, lose the 8, Gambling Man. Our Tuesday nightcap in a little more than 3 minutes. Here's the field 1, Moon Hunter, Omar Hernandez Moreno. 2, Cody's Express, Nazario Alvarado. 3, Cousin Greg, current favorite, Luis Perez looking for 2. Jackie Davis looking for a riding double, MCRR, the 4-horse, looking for 2 in a row. 5 is Thundering March with Kevin Navarro. 6 is Magic Pro, Giovanni Paredes. 7 is Kobe's Legacy, John Davila Jr. Scratch the 8, 9, Bad Water, Heeman Harkey looking to sweep the late double. 10, Bumble Monster, Carlos Barbosa looking for 3, looking to bookend the Tuesday card. Carl Grusmark looking for his second training score on the afternoon. A field of 9 here in the nightcap, a few minutes away. One more race to go on this Tuesday card. 1:15 first post tomorrow. There's a chance. It's a little bit of a long shot chance, but there is a chance we could have a very nice 2-day pick 6 carryover into the Wednesday card. 2, 3, 7, and 10 are covered. 2, 3, 7, and 10. Those are the 4 fancied horses on the board. Leaves us with 5 horses that could trigger a nice pick 6 carryover of a little bit shy of $23,000. We shall see how it plays out. My top pick is one of the horses that is covered. That's the 3, Cousin Greg. I liked Cousin Greg a few starts ago on the 20th of June. Didn't mind him stretching out. In fact, let's get back to that race 3 races ago. I thought he had the best stride in the final furlong. Now he's got Ralph Foundation working with him in his corner. He's going to turn back in distance. Luis Perez now 2 starts in a row aboard Cousin Greg. He seems to make a lot of sense. He's a logical player. Price is pretty good, 3-1. I'm more than willing to take 3-1 on Cousin Greg in this spot. My second pick is one of the horses not covered, the 5, Thundering March. You know, Kevin Navarro had been riding Cousin Greg. Luis Perez took over on the 31st of July. Luis Perez has been riding Thundering March. Well, Kevin Navarro's now aboard the 5. Kevin guided this one to his maiden victory at 52-1. We've seen a few races the last couple last Wednesday, a few races yesterday and today where horses making big moves on the outside. Why not Thundering March to fit that profile? There's no world beaters in here. You're going to get rewarded. Buckley and Kevin Navarro, they've been a pretty good tandem the last couple of seasons. Look at the stats, fans. 23% from a huge sample, a very, very juicy ROI. It's not the worst stab in the world at 21-1. 7, Kobe's Legacy, I find pretty intriguing. The last time he was on a sealed, a sloppy racetrack, he ran one of the better races of his career. That was back on the 26th of September against maiden 11s, and he made up a lot of ground in the final furlong and in the final quarter of a mile. I like the fact that he's protected. Chris Englehart, Sheila Englehart have utilized the waiver, so nobody can tag Kobe today. What's his price on the board? He's currently at 4-1. I give him a good little look. Then you get the 2, Cody's Express. Don't know what to make of him. He's inside speed. Seems to be a good fit for this $5,000 price. I'll make him my 4th pick. 3, 5, 7, 2 here in the nightcap, a couple minutes away. Nearing the gate. It's post time for the Tuesday nightcap. Cousin Greg is the lukewarm favorite for the nightcap. 1:15 tomorrow for the Wednesday card. 2, 3, 7, and 10 are covered in the pick six. 2, 3, 7, and 10 covered. The other 5 trigger a nice pick six carryover into the Wednesday program. A little shy of $23,000. How big would that pool be? Let's see what happens here in the nightcap. Cousin Greg moving forward. MCRR looking for 2 in a row. Thundering March, 20-1 for Navarro and Buckley. Kevin Navarro and John Buckley. There's Magic Pro. Kobe's Legacy returning to the races. Then you get Bad Water, Heeman Harkey looking to sweep the late double, and Bumble Monster from the outside with the bug boy Carlos Barbosa. Hot hand for Carlos this afternoon. Looking to bookend our Tuesday program and get 3 overall. Here is Kobe's Legacy, Bad Water, Heeman Harkey, and Troy Smith. And Carlos Barbosa aboard Bumble Monster. Carl Grusmark looking for a trading double. Field of 9 in the nightcap. Cousin Greg is the favorite. They're at the post. And there they go. Bad Water sent for speed. Cody's Express wants to go. Bumble Monster up close. From the rail is Moon Hunter, then MCRR with Kobe's Legacy. Thundering March and Cousin Greg are 6 or 7 off the lead. Magic Pro is a little less than 9.5 or 10 from the front, held by Cody's Express. Bad Water sets up shop from second. Bumble Monster from the top shelf third. Moon Hunter has 4 to find from his outside is Kobe's Legacy. Break of 4 lengths to Cousin Greg and Thundering March, splitting them MCRR. Nothing yet from Magic Pro. Still at the top spot, Cody's Express. Bumble Monster makes his move from the outside. Bad Water retrieves just a bit from third. Cousin Greg is making up ground. He's making a move for fourth along the rail, and he's a little less than 6 off the lead. Then we go to Moon Hunter, and to the far outside races Kobe's Legacy, and on the front end, it is Cody's Express. Cody's Express, the one to come and catch in the nightcap. Cousin Greg and Moon Hunter pick up the chase. But on the front end, Cody's Express, Cousin Greg, Moon Hunter, second and third with Bumble Monster. Cody's Express in the nightcap. There's Cousin Greg into second, then Moon Hunter checking in fourth. Bumble Monster for the Superfecta. Cody's Express breaks through with this 5,000 N2L. 113.02 the final running time. So we will not be getting a pick six carryover. A couple of winning tickets for this big payer. To Cody's Express, the inside speed of the nightcap. There's Cousin Greg, a little too late with Moon Hunter and Bumble Monster. Let the placing judges sort out the numbers. Hold all tickets. All right, Cody's Express is going to get his picture taken this afternoon. His second career score. He's a 4-year-old dark bay or brown gelding by Mr. speaker out of the damn night in Rome. Owned by Stacy Torelli and Daniel Town. Stacy Torelli in the Niz. Shuffle up and deal in the nightcap. Winning jockey Nazario Alvarado. The winner was Brett in Kentucky by Bailey Breeders and others. All right, we have the numbers finally posted. 2-3-1-10, 2-3-1-10 up on the board. And the Tuesday nightcap is official. 2-3-1-10, the top four finishers. The late double, 7-2, $47.60. A 2-3 exact at $27.40. 2-3-1 trifecta, $35.62. 2-3-1-10, 10-cent super, $30.70. 9-7-2 late pick 3, $40.50. 5 with 2, 9 with 7 with 2. Our late pick 4, $115.37. 5 with 5 with 2, 9 with 7 with 2. Our Tuesday pick 5, $500.75. 2 winning tickets in our pick 6. Some nice payoffs, that's for sure. $11,359. 2 winning tickets in the Tuesday pick 6, $11,359. 5 out of 6 is worth $100.50. That's it for the Tuesday card. Sure hope you had a great day of racing. We'll do it all over again tomorrow at 1:15 first post. When leaving the track, please drive very carefully. This has been racing from Finger Lakes Gaming and Racetrack. Good night, everyone.